Hey, this is Tom from Factory Underground Tech, and today I'm going to show you how I multi-track record guitars. Let's get started. This video will not only go over important microphone techniques, it will also show you some great tricks on editing to move through your session as quickly as possible. Step 1. Setting up an amp and finding your tone. Most guitarists will get their own tone dialed in. They may even request a specific amp or even bring their own. But in some cases, you may need to guide the player towards what works for the song. In today's case, we're going to be recording a spanky indie guitar tone, which is slightly driven and not quite clean. Step 2. Microphone choice and starting placement. Let's start talking about microphone choice and placement. It's always good as an engineer to carry a flashlight that can be used to find the cone of your speaker. Today we'll be using a ribbon mic in conjunction with a dynamic microphone. We will be using the ribbon mic for body, and the dynamic mic will be used for brightness, allowing it to cut through the mix. We will start with our mic at center cone, which is where the brightest part of your speaker is. We will want to make sure that both microphones are the same distance from your amp so that they remain in phase. Step 3. Adjust the preamp gain. Let's make 2 tracks for each of our microphones and name them appropriately. Be sure to include the microphone name and the instrument name. Let's then adjust the preamp gain for both microphones, making sure our record level is around -12 dB and peaking around -6 dB, leaving us plenty of headroom. Step 4. Check and make sure the microphones are in phase. When using multiple microphones, it's always important to make sure that they are in phase with one another. The best way to do this is to record a quick guitar take and listen back to it. Then, you can flip the phase on one of the guitar tracks and listen to see if the low end disappears. If the guitars sound thinner when phase is flipped, then it's a good sign that your microphones were already in phase. If not, you will want to reposition your microphones so that they are the same distance from your recording source. Step 5. Adjust your microphones if needed. I'm going to want to make these guitars a little darker, so I'm going to pull them away from the speaker a little bit and slightly off the center cone. Step 6. If using multiple microphones, then you should group them and adjust group settings for comping and editing. Here are the group settings that I recommend when tracking and editing a sound source with multiple microphones. These settings will make sure when you edit or comp one track, it will do the exact same edit or comp to the other tracks in the group, keeping them completely locked with one another. Step 7. Then we can track our first guitar. Be sure to remind the guitarist to tune up before tracking. Step 8. Doubling guitar parts with a different guitar and guitar amp will help the stereo spread of the guitars, as well as make it sound bigger. If you don't have a different guitar or guitar amp, at least try a different pickup position or amp setting. We're going to set up another amp and repeat our first steps all over again until we get the tone that we like. Step 9. Then we can double our guitar tracks. Step 10. Lastly, we can comp our parts and pan them to our taste to get the vibe that we're looking for. Keep in mind that panning far left and right will bring the guitars forward in the mix, while keeping them towards the center will push them farther back in the mix. Thanks for watching, and I really hope this helped your producing, miking, and editing at your own studio. See you next time.